say what it says?
Yeah, can you read it from here?
Yeah, I think I can make it out. Basically, the couple was here and they got killed
Or butchered.
by, did I read this correctly? By Sally's grandson?
Relatives.
Yeah.
They were murdered.
Joshua
Yeah.
Brownling and his friend John Tucker. Their home. It says ex murdered together in their home. Wow.
Yeah, we decided to. We never shown this area before because it's a bit of a sacred area, I think, out here in the Green Swamp. It's one of the few homesteads that were out here, but this one's got a history to it. It's a classic tale goes with it. The couple had a homestead out here when the Green Swamp region was first being settled by the settlers. And long story short was they were brutally murdered by an axe, and they were hacked up. They were hacked up with an axe by supposedly their relatives.
Yeah.
Her grandson did it, and he brought in a friend, is what the story says. But they're buried here, as you saw the grave site right here. To my knowledge, they're buried here. This is an area of a grave, and I think those, not the stone itself, but I think those little markers back there are probably it. And as you can tell, the area is corralled also with its fence, so it has all the hallmarks of really being an actual a burial plot. And this area is where their little shed was at. There's a shed. We'll show you there's a shed here shortly. It had a house, a little small house up here. But we had never shown it before on the channel because we don't really go over here that much.
Yeah,
We normally go into different areas in the Green Swamp, and there's their shed, the little shed out there. But now, if you think about it, right? You know, the closest city was Dade City. The closest city from here was Dade City. Really, I think so. And they would have had to come in here on, 1800s, 1900s. They would have had to come in here on horse and buggy, and some of these trails. I can only imagine living out here in this brutal heat, coming in on, riding in on a horse. Nobody would even know anything about you if you got murdered. So let's go have a look at the shed. So, they said they were murdered in 1918. So you're looking at 100 years. This stuff's 100 years old, I guess, is what you could say. Unless the shed was put up here afterwards. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't see any records or any placards or anything describing the shed. So I guess the shed's ballpark 100 years old, I guess.
Yeah, look at the flooring.
Yeah. See, look at that. Look, go in there, look at that. People put flowers out here, look at it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now, I don't know where they were, I don't know
They say
where.
in their homes at the gravestone, it said in their homes.
In their home?
They were exed in their homes.
Yeah, so I don't know if their bodies was left there or not, or, if this was the actual shed or the actual home, I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause there's no structures out here other than this. I'm under the assumption that the little house was over there where they were buried.
Wow. Interesting.
Yep. So you can look at these oak trees. You know, these oak trees give you an idea of how old they are also, you know. They were probably the people that planted these oak trees, if you think about it. I don't think anybody's lived here since. Back here, back towards this area, there's a campsite called Mott's Prairie. And it's right off the Florida Trail. And I've had some interesting accounts told to me from back here in this area also, from people that's been over there, going through.
Like Bigfoot activity?
Yeah, classic
Classic.
what I would describe as like Bigfoot stuff, yeah.
Hmm.
You hear the
Right.
you hear the thumps and the thuds back towards this way, and the feeling of movement, you know, being watched. You know. All right, so let's move on. That's Stewart Homestead.